Yeah, yeah.
Because how
Mo-
much he
carry
like
them,
you.
carry them. Yeah, yeah.
Live, eh?
No, what's that little song?
Live.
What's that gonna do now?
So, what we need now is we could,
Hmm?
what we need now is we put banners and things on them.
What's it in behind you?
Check the stream on Facebook. I look at Facebook and see.
Some other places must just share this. Me I song. Sam, I'm hearing. Yeah, it's you.
Exactly. Look at mine. You don't know? Yeah. Okay.
No, that's song. Yeah, you see him.
In the midst of all my problems, in the midst of all my fears, I cried to my Savior and He heard my every prayer. He said, I'm with you always, on me you can depend. So I wipe my weeping eyes and I look towards the sky. Bigger than all my problems, bigger than all my fears. God is bigger than any mountain that I cannot see. Bigger than all my trials. Began to sway. I just call out to my Savior in a sweet hour of prayer. His presence overflowed me. My problems fade away. Cause my Master knows my care and He's with me everywhere. Bigger than all my problems, bigger than all my fears. God is bigger than any mountain that
Better come to you.
Bigger than all my problems, bigger than all my fears. My God is bigger than any mountain that I cannot see. Bigger than all my trials, bigger than anything. My God is bigger than any mountain that I can and cannot see.
All right. Moving to some Bridget Boot this morning. Because, it is what the Christian world refers to as Holy Thursday. So Thursday across the Christian world. And so we are grooving to some gospel. Well, all you realize now that we're multi-streaming. We're streaming on YouTube and on Facebook simultaneously on both Star FM. Right, I see that, Gemma. I see that. I see you on the YouTube, the oob. So we on both. So for those of you who prefer the Facebook streaming, log on and step on Chichiman. Log on. And who is on it? Log on and step on Chichi. What is it? Log on. Anyway, so you could log on the Facebook and you could get that stream there, or you can log on YouTube and the stream is there as well. Same quality stream, both places. Yep. We're leading, right, Bling, with the first radio station to multi-stream. So everybody will try that now. All right. That's all right. We lead, others follow. All right. So no problem. We're going on here now. On the 1, 2, 3. Right. Let me say good day to everybody wherever they are. Good morning to those of you who are in our time zone and those who are ahead of us and you're in the evening time, afternoon time. Good day to you as well. All right. It's a beautiful day in Jimmy's Overcast. There's a ship in the harbor. Very, very. Gemma, help your sister, please now. Help your sister. She said she can't find the YouTube. It's a very bumper season for cruise tourism here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So, things happening nice. All right. Yeah. Gemma, that's how it go. Go on YouTube, cast on the TV, ting. All right. So somebody, Jaleesia's mom in Baga. Jaleesia, will give me mom name now. Let me Miss Johnson. Give me a mom name so we could big share properly, no man. Bigging up Jaleesia's mom down there in Barley, Curtains. She's celebrating her 78th birthday today. So we want to wish her all the best on her birthday. We know she's listening. We know she logged on. And if it's Facebook, like my heart spell mother, but she logged on and, I believe she's listening to us. So good day, Patsy John. Right. Wonderful. Patsy John in Curtains, Barley. Good day and happy birthday to you. All the best and God's blessings. Hey, listen, you're celebrating your birthday on Holy Thursday. Hey, it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. All right, so we're going hard this morning. I promise all you that we're going hard. I know it's Holy Thursday, it's Holy Week and Holy Weekend and we're getting there. So we're going go holy hard this morning. We're going to go holy hard this morning. Because some people go in Parliament the other day and try to rearrange and talking some rubbish. But the worst part of the whole thing? The worst part of the whole thing. All right. Nice, Tika. By the way, Tika, I forgot to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this Pantap Radio. Lens Crafters sent me a nice email telling me they already gave my wife my glasses. So I guess you're my wife. Yeah, I understand. I understand going out Lens Crafters. But anyhow. Tika. Me good cousin. Right. But Lens Crafters say I'm my wife. So them they know what I'm doing. And she did mention to me that when she logs on to YouTube, she gets no interruptions when she's on the train. So it's perfect. Perfect. All right. So during the parliamentary debate on the road improvement loan, let me set some context. first of all, before me even go into that. It is obvious, it is clear that the NDP's work to poison the minds of their followers, their supporters, towards Dr. Gonsalves and the ULP is paying dividends. They have been able to so poison the mind of their supporters that they are able to lie to their supporters bluntly, shamefacedly, barefacedly, and not suffer reprisals. They are able to lie to their supporters, and even in the face of facts and truth, they get away with the lie. Now, we could talk about the whole historical, philosophical issue of the big lie with Goebbels and so on. The Hitler propaganda minister. Big lies. The Willie Lynch type attitude. Or we could just break it down to the reality of what it is. From day one, their campaign against the personality of Dr. Gonsalves, they've waged war on Dr. Gonsalves. And they extended that to his family, to his party, and anybody who supports him. My mother called me last night, tell me she met a friend of mine, schoolmate, whose comment to her was, oh, I just be defending Gonsalves. It's amazing how me articulating the position of the government is defending Gonsalves when many individuals get up and spew the lies of the NDP. And that's okay. They go for all sorts of acrobatics move with their lies. And that's okay. But if I articulate the position of the government, it's a bad thing. I defend in Gonsalves. Because you see, the poison has seeped down.
It's true.
The poison is no longer just Dr. Gonsalves and his family. It's Dr. Gonsalves' family, the ULP, and supporters of the ULP.
Yep.
Even if you're not a supporter of the ULP or the government, but you agree with something, you get licks too. The attitude of the NDP and those whose minds have been poisoned by the NDP against Dr. Gonsalves and the ULP is that you shouldn't agree with them at all. And so the attitude is paying benefits, it's paying dividends. They could tell lie, big lie, and get away with the lie. They could repeat the lie, and nobody in their party holds them accountable and says, no, hold on, that is wrong. It's not true. So, for example, during the pandemic, when Board France decided he was going to take his vaccine and encourage people to take the vaccine, bought Yelix. Even Sinclair Leacock, when he spoke on radio, they say he know they won't come after him simply because he said, take the vaccine. And mind you, taking the vaccine was not seen as a health measure. It was seen as a Gonsalves measure.
Yep.
That is how bad things are in this country. The taking of the vaccine was not seen as a health measure in the pandemic to keep you safe. It was seen as a Ralph Gonsalves thing. So you're taking Ralph vaccine. And so anybody, as opposed as they are to the government, but who said, I love life, I love health, and I getting vaccinated, watch your juiced.
Yep.
For following Dr. Gonsalves. Dr. Gonsalves ain't named Pfizer. He ain't named Johnson & Johnson. He ain't named Ralph Johnson and Ralph Pfizer and Ralph BioNTech. He named Ralph Gonsalves, Ralph Everett Gonsalves. But the vaccine became Ralph's vaccine. So Tika in New York took Ralph vaccine. And Gemma and Jolicia and Rochelle in Canada took Ralph vaccine. And Richard in Germany took Ralph vaccine. And Ev in England took Ralph vaccine. Because apparently
It's Ralph vaccine.
it's Ralph vaccine. And that was a direct result of the poisoning of the minds of people against Dr. Gonzalez. So, they know that. The NDP was voted out of office on March 28, 2001. We just celebrated 22 years in office. They celebrated 22 years in opposition. They had a big meeting out the Archtown. I don't know if it was big.
Big meeting.
But yeah, I know it was big, but they had a meeting. They had a rally.
Yeah,
Down south. They had a rally down south. To celebrate 22 years in opposition. Voted out of office in 2001. And they have made every attempt to claim credit for successful projects of the ULP. Because as you look around, there are many successes. It don't matter how much they try to tell you, oh, government fail, government fail, government fail. They say that publicly, and then in a most shameless, bold-faced action, they come with the other side of the mouth and say, oh, but this project was our idea. So they came into office. They came into parliament in the discussion of the roads loan agreement with Taiwan. And they perform some amazing gymnastics. Listen, there is a circus in town currently. And I've seen some all kind of incredible moves. Listen, what I witnessed in Parliament on Tuesday, incredible moves. Incredible moves. I don't want to bring the speaker into disrepute, but Speaker, you've been in Parliament for a couple of years. Hello? As a senator. So you know, you have some historical context to some of this thing here. You were in Parliament, Speaker, when the Windward Highway project was being implemented, Speaker. I don't want to bring into anything. I don't want to forgive me. I don't want to bring the office of Speaker into disrepute. But Speaker, you sit down there overseeing the business of the House. And you were in Parliament, Senator Rochelle Ford, when parts of the Windward Highway project was being implemented. You were in Parliament, Senator Rochelle Ford, when the education revolution was being implemented. As a matter of fact, you rose the motion. It must hurt your heart and grate your ears when you hear some of these guys coming in Parliament and trying to rewrite history the way they are. I ain't trying to bring the office of the Speaker into disrepute. I'm simply saying that if Rochelle Ford, my sister, yeah, she my sister. Don't ask me how. If Rochelle Ford wasn't the fair, professional, unbiased speaker that she was, she might say, hey, I talk to this. I've been here too. Now, it's not so. Oh. But she can't do that. She can't do that. She could have probably gone and say, oh, it ain't so, that's ain't true. I was here. I know differently. But the goodly speaker sat and managed the business of the House and allowed the debate to go forward.
She's smiling.
Yeah. She could have said, listen, no, guys, y'all talking rubbish this morning. Y'all trying to rewrite history. Stop it. Because while Camilo Gonzalez admitted, I wasn't here, Rochelle could say, I was here. I was a senator in the House of Assembly. I was a senator in this Parliament here that I now preside over. So they come, and Daniel Cummins got up, and he said, and Camilo quoted him, he said, the Windward Highway was conceived, designed, and implemented by the ULP. In other words, you think about the project, you design the project and you do the work on the project. And he kept insisting on that. Now, Dr. Gonzalez had made a presentation before outlining the work of the ULP on the Windward Highway project. But Cummins wasn't satisfied with that. He had to show, because he is the only engineer, the only body with sense, the only body who could do what, because, oh, by the way, everything is so-called, that so-called Leeward Highway, the so-called international airport, everything is so-called. Maybe I should say the so-called MP for West Kingston. I don't know, because everything is so-called. So he insisted on it. And then later on, Fitz Bramble got up. And he endorsed it, and he buttressed it, and he emphasized it. He said, I agree with my colleague, because I was working in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning as a project economist overseeing these projects. So, well, if Daniel Cummins jump up vehemently and say so, and beat table and say so, and the man working in finance say he was there overseeing, then God knows it have to be true. If Daniel Cummins get so strong and shout it across, and shout down the Prime Minister, and say, we the NDPs who do it, and then Bramble get up and he say, I was working in finance when it happened, and I was managing the project as economist. Well, God knows it must have been true. If he says one, he says, listen, it must have to be true. Must have to be true.
Yeah, right.
So, clearly, Ralph Gonzalez lied. And that is something that they've been pushing for years. Ralph lie all, Ralph lie all, Ralph lie all. No. Take this in the context of the fact that they have done a hatchet job, waged a war on the integrity and the personality of Dr. Gonzalez. They painted him as lie, they painted him as everything. So naturally, when they come in Parliament and Cummins is so strong with it, and Bramble could back him up, then we'll fly in truth. No, in a court of law, you have some call evidence. And in some cases, hey, say, he say, she say, me bende, me hear, she say, is not allowed. But Bramble is not here, say. Bramble is a credible witness. He was responsible for the project. So he comes to the stand and gave his testimony, and that is his testimony. But let me go back to the records, because all of these things must be in the budget for the year. So Camille goes to the records. And he says, in 1999, the budget was end of 1998. Now, mind you, 1998 is contextual because that's the year that Vincent Chan showed them. Listen to me, I want to tell you now. And they went out and voted strongly against them. They won the elections 8-7, but with 45% of the vote, while the ULP got 55%. A 10% difference. Over 5,000 vote difference. They got 23,000 something, ULP got 28,000 something. Almost 2 constituencies worth of votes today. So when they did the budget for 1999, Camilo goes back to the budget. He goes back, he picks up the budget document. Bramble been inside finance, so he was in charge of projects, so he go know. No mention of Windward Highway project. No money, no allocation, nothing. Camilo is reading this out, and Daniel Cummins, like a petulant child, is over on the other side, beating table. It was not in communication and works, it was in finance. Camilo said, but there's nothing in finance about it either. You're telling me it's an NDP project? No. I'm not telling you it wasn't an NDP project. The documents say that it wasn't an NDP project. But that didn't stop him from beating the table and shout. That didn't stop him from theater. That didn't stop him from theatrics. That didn't stop him from getting on. You know, when it's not chair, it's something. His neck brace, his chair, is something. Didn't stop him. Didn't stop him. So there's no mention in 1999. In 2000, $4 million allocation. $4 million. No money spent of the $4 million. No money spent. Now, if it showed up though, it showed up. Let me say that. So in the budget, there was an allocation of $4 million for design and other consultancy services. $4 million for design and other consulting services related to the Windward Highway project. Okay. However, by the end of the year, according to the records, no money spent. No money spent. No. Common sense tells me if no money was spent, no designs were done. Now, all those who disagree with that common sense, you could raise your hand. But if $4 million they would do design and consultancy services, and at the end of the year, no money was spent out of it, no designs were done. So, this is 2000. It goes back into the budget, $4 million. $4 billion. And this is for 2001. But you know, I know, we all know that by March 2001, NDP gone. NDP gone. So if it come back in 2001, that means they will not have in 3 months. But anyhow, let me not be silly. But again, no money was spent in 2001.
None.
So again, between the complete end of the NDP and the first 9 months of the ULP, no designs, no consultancy services of the Windward Highway project. It is in 2003 that the Windward Highway project shows up, and this time it's designed, it's to build bridges and to build roads and so on for different portions of road. There were 6 line items.
Yep.
All of this is being read out of the budget document now. And while this is being read, you go back and watch it, people. Go back and watch it. Watch the exchange. While this is being read from the government document, you know, Daniel Cummins over there a big table and shout and say NDP, 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 NDP. And you know why you're doing it? Theater.
Exactly.
Theater. Because you know somewhere in West Kingston and in Central Kingston and certain places, maybe Northern and Southern Grandins and other places, some people sit down in front of the TV going saying, yes, Daniel, get them. They feel like right, It's NDP do it. Even though they just heard, or did they, the reading of the facts, not Daniel's lies, not Bramble's lies, but the reading of the facts from the estimates. They still did it, clapping. Yes, Mr. Cummins, yes. It's so like what you do them, man. It's so like what you do them. Theatrics.
Somebody say, I almost believed him.
And they know. People believe him.
Someone on the live.
Because you can't be so vehement and wrong.
Yeah.
You can't be so vehement and wrong. But he knows he's wrong. And if you see them afterwards, all them on the phone afterwards when Camilo hit him because, watch me, shame.
You gotta really play back.
But you think they're going to stop them? You need to play that back, play that wrap up there. You think they're going to stop them from coming subsequently, going on radio and saying, is them do it? No, because they know they have so poisoned a fraction of their base that people will believe.
Correct.
I want to read a passage of scripture. There's some people in this place now.
RJ Century said, I almost believed.
You almost believe?
The crazy thing is here, Cummins said the NDP
I
design
tell you.
and build the Windward Highway with such confidence.
I'm telling you. Yes. Let me put that up there. The man say, the crazy thing. Just now. When I open up, I'll take plenty call, but just now. I know.
Only cars a bit.
Yeah, because people just feel that,
Yeah.
I call in. I know I call in.
Only cars a bit. See, and we'll indicate when.
Yeah, I will tell you when I take any call. I need to set the context to this program. Right? So I read in 2 Colossians, chapter 2, verse 11. Let me put on my glasses. By the way, hey, I see me get new glasses, and I see I can't tell me my glasses look good. What are you? I depend if live watch me and can't tell me glasses look good. Anyhow, second Thessalonians 2. 2 Thessalonians 2. I'll read from verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive it not the love of truth. They receive it not the love of truth. When Dr. Gonzalez come and talk about love and talk about truth, then I receive that. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of truth, that they may be saved. And for this cause, God shall send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie.
Yep.
That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. You hear the truth. You hear in the reading from the estimates, but you're going to stay with the lie. Listen, there's a course, If in the face of truth, you rather believe a lie, there's a course, If in the face of truth and facts, you rather believe the lie told to you by Daniel Cummins that the NDP conceived, designed, and implemented the Windward Highway project, or the lie of Fitz Bramble that it was the NDP who established diplomatic relations with Taiwan, and that they've always supported Taiwan, and that will not change. If you rather believe the lie, even in the face of fact that says, hey, the Windward Highway project was 100% ULP, and Taiwan was started by Labour under Milton Ketu, who went to Taiwan to sign. And we're the ones who nurtured the relationship because they have already said they would switch. And I'm going to play it for you this morning too. It's Holy Week. So that's why I got to incorporate some Bible. But they don't do the poisoning. They're so poisoned, they're inflamed. That's why the rage boils so hot. Because they're angry. I know Dr. Gonzalez do them. What did Dr. Gonzalez do them? But
Keeping them up.
Oh my God.
For 22 years.
You see that? I want to speak to somebody. That this morning just listen to the NDP lies. And it sounds like I'm making an altar call, I want to speak to somebody who listens to the NDP lies and refuses to accept the truth as brought forward with the evidence of documentation, simply because your mind has been poisoned. You have a chance to come out of that. You need to accept truth for what it is. I ain't telling you to switch support to your party, although eventually that may make sense if they continuously deceiving you. But I'm telling you, open your ears to truth. Shun politics of hate. Shun politics of deception and lies. So now, look, we know the roads I'm going in the country. We know who built them. And if you built North Leeward Highway, I know. From Wallabo to Richmond. I know that. NDP, ULP built South Leeward Highway, Mandela Highway, from Hospital Road to the resource center in Liu. We know that. Stop trying to thief credit now and embellish your record, because when your record is laid bare, it doesn't make for good reading. We gotta accept that. I just said, let me start take some calls. The lines are open, my comrades. I'm not talking a while. And please don't call and complain about how long I take, because I had to set the context for the program. So when they call, when they get in, just let me have a discussion. You understand? Because I had to set the context for the program.
Man don't reach a house.
Set the context, put some things out, so that now we can have the discussion.
Yep.
And you can comment on what you vote so far, or you can add additional comments, add additional context. But don't complain. Oh, you've been talking like, yeah, no. I talk like it's me hosting the program this morning. So you gotta give me the leverage. You gotta give me the leverage.
Talk, eh?
Yeah, we know that long time. Long time. If you go into my school records, they go tell you, talkative much. So I will send you two clips up on WhatsApp. WhatsApp, open up any computer? Open it up. Let me send you 2 clips of plugin, please. Because while you wait on the call, I must be vexing me a minute in our call. That's all right. More time for that. More time for that. Yeah? Star FM? For you as in Star FM? Okay. Yeah. So we have the clips now to play, because that was the lie regarding the Windward Highway. But there were also lies regarding Taiwan. And Bramble, who maybe seems to be the leader, or is aspiring to be the leader, I guess he sees a vacuum there. He decides to start making policy off the cuff, on the floor of the House. So let me do this now. Hold on. We're going to play 2 clips. And I'm going to let you know what the NDP's policy is and what Bramble is trying to tell you. Hold on. Here it is. The one day. Tell me if you get them, Brother Bling.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. There are 2 clips I want to play. Because, again, you go in the House and you want to lie. The Minister of Finance or the member for East St. George referred as misremembering, because they want about memory.
Former leader.
Huh? So I want you to play Bramble first.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Because this was Bramble in Parliament telling you, or rather reminding us, what the policy of the NDP is. Listen to this. Yes. Yes. We queuing it up. We queuing it up.
There we go.
What is that? What is that? Where's it? What? Ah, come on. Anyway, let me conclude. You're making Madam Speaker smile and all, you know. Let me conclude by joining with my colleagues and my honorable leader in expressing sincere appreciation to the government and people of the Republic of Taiwan and China for once again coming to our assistance. We, the New Democratic Party, the new Democratic Party. In case you all forget, because people talking about memory, Prime Minister talking about memory, sometimes I wonder about yours. The New Democratic Party is the party which, when in government, established diplomatic relations with Taiwan. So don't come and question.
Bling.
Don't come here and question.
Madam
Speaker. Don't come here and question.
Pause it. Did you hear the disingenuousness of those people on that side beating the table? Did you hear them beating the table in agreement with Bramble that it was the New Democratic Party while in office that established diplomatic relations with Taiwan? Well, PM, of course, naturally going to jump up and stop that. And any other member could have jumped up and stopped that, because diplomatic relations were established in 81 or 80. soon after we get independence. Is Milton K to Labour Party do it? But here's Bramble telling you. That in case you forget, let me remind you. You can't remind me of something that never happened. Listen, what is that about post-truth and alternative truth and that kind of thing? You can't remind me of something that happened.
Never happened.
Listen to me. I go say, Rochelle Bruce, let me remind you of the time when we were married. Rochelle say, what? you reminding me? Yeah, I'm reminding you, Rochelle, of the time we were married. Val, I am reminding you of the time you got locked up. What? Reminding me? Me never got locked up? Well, in the mind of Fitz Bramble and the NDP, you can be reminded of things that never happened. So he's reminding the country in the House of Assembly that it was the NDP that established diplomatic relations with Taiwan, but Boston never happened. Hey, watch now. I tell her something, you know. I go live to see they say the NDP build the international airport at Argyle, you know. I will live to hear them say it was the NDP that constructed the international airport at Argyle, you know. Please say, please bring.
Here and question.
Madam Speaker.
Don't come
Madam
here and
Speaker,
question.
my honorable fellow.
Don't come and.
Friend.
Are you
It's
raising
an error.
on a point of order?
Point of order.
Point of order, yes.
Madam Speaker, it's an egregious error. The diplomatic relations were established when the Labour Party under Milton Keita was in government, 1 year after independence.
Correct.
You know,
Even the speaker said that's correct. I tell you,
Even the speaker said
you
that.
sell water, you know. Why can't talk? And the man said, don't come and tell me, boss, but you're wrong. It wasn't an egregious error. It was a big lie.
Big lie.
With the clip, please.
was in government, 1 year after independence.
Correct.
You know, his memory on that is as faulty as his memory on the question of the Windward Highway.
Madam
Memory.
Speaker.
Madam Speaker.
Yes. Honorable, yes. Honorable. Thank you. for the point of
Madam
order.
Speaker.
Please
The
continue.
fact is that
The
the
fact.
New Democratic Party
Fact.
has always
Fact. Go ahead.
been a long-standing friend of the people, the government and people of Taiwan, and we don't intend to change that.
All right, stop that.
Again,
Stop that. Stop right there. Stop right there. The fact is, he says, that the New Democratic Party has always been a friend of the people of Taiwan, government of the people of Taiwan, and we don't intend to change that. Bramble says that is the fact. Well, I want Bing to play the second clip and hear the other fact. And the truth is, both cannot be facts. Play that clip, please.
Both cannot be facts.
Both can be facts.
In this regard, fully cognizant of the ever-evolving symmetry of international affairs and the principal responsibility and obligation of our party in or out of government to diligently pursue and protect the best strategic interests of our country. I hereby formally announce that the New Democratic Party of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as of today's date, August 23rd, 2016, has taken the decision to recognize the United Nations accepted norm of a one China policy. I repeat, I hereby formally announce that the New Democratic Party of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as of today's date, August 23rd, 2016, has taken the decision to recognize the United Nations accepted norm of a one China policy. our party under my leadership, has evolved the worldview that is embraced by almost every country in this region, and indeed the world. One China policy will be a key international relations platform of our party, and we'll move to change from the province to Beijing when we form the next government, which we expect will be shortly.
That is also a fact. So in Parliament, Fitz Bramble, who's not the leader of the party, who just come, says the fact is the NDP has always been supportive of the people, government people of Taiwan, and they don't intend to change that fact. In 2016, Arnim Eustace, leader of the NDP, that's why Minister Gonzalez read that in Parliament, but now I read them. Me why he said for himself, me why he hate in his voice. He says, as of that date, August 2016, the NDP is going to accept the United Nations accepted norm of a one China policy. What is the UN accepted norm? That the People's Republic of China, mainland China, is the only legal representative of the Chinese people, the only. So much so that he did not even say we're going to switch from Taiwan. He didn't even call Taiwan name. He said we're going to switch from the province. The province is how mainland China refers to Taiwan. So he did not even offer due respect to the independence and sovereignty of Taiwan by calling them Taiwan. He referred to them as the province immediately as of that date, rescinding and accepting that Taiwan is not independent, has no sovereignty, but is a province of mainland China as of August 2016. He said two things. He said it is the party's policy outside or in government. So currently, listeners, the New Democratic Party does not recognize Taiwan. It don't matter what you hear them say in Parliament. The policy as announced by the leader of the party and re-emphasized by Dr. Friday in 2018 is that the NDP does not recognize Taiwan. To the NDP, Taiwan is a province of mainland China.
Yep.
That's a fact. As a matter of fact, that is the fact. Because you can't have both. And you can't tell me you've always, since 2016 to now, you do not recognize them. And most instructive, what he said is, and if, well, he said when, they get into power, they are going to make sure the policy of the party is reflected in any government they lead, where they want to switch from Taiwan, according to them, the province, to mainland. That's the policy of the NDP. Let me take the call. But you are coming right history in Parliament. Caller, good morning. Caller, good morning. I hear nothing.
Sian.
Yes, good morning.
So when the NDP say that it's them who organize the highway, if Prime Minister done with design and all kind of thing, where they don't put how they to build the highway then? Because and then like they don't have no way bridge was going on be because they say you don't take a tunnel or something like that, and then these people continue lying to people that supporting them. I want to hear people lying to people that supporting them, and they get to outsmart the whole nation. When you hear them getting power, just stay as you know. Because a liar is a thief. A liar is a serious thief. And a dishonest man. And that goes to the NDP because, Parliament is a worst nightmare. They hate to come back with the lies. They hate to go to Parliament because when they don't talk the lie on the radio, and they keep eating in Parliament to figure to outsmart the people longer, if people they find the parliament so hard to deal with, because some of them don't even know whether they're lying or not. First, they don't believe in nobody, they care about nobody. Then the 15 of them try to outsmart a whole nation in 100 or something thousand people. Because this one wife to come in and get big work. This one want this to get big work. And their family thing, and fellas who boom around them might get a little stupidness to mama guide them. Me the civil suffering, we help. And everything workers can't get paid. People can't get employed, people can't get scholarship. As this government doing, and the NDP and the Mary walking up intention. And you can't criticize them. You know, can't criticize them because they either go flush you out, damage you, or get rid of you, make sure that you survive. Want to talk against them, and what they go say, the guns have used to do that. That because they had the supporters now who didn't know the whole smart, and they had no big sort of understanding, and they go work on that. And you know, can't talk not at all about them because they talk. Every day they go and tell a lie, you know. You know, say, Gonzalo does lie, Tian does lie, this one does lie, that one does lie. Every time you hear they telling a lie, they put you first in front because they know they're lying and they want to look good. They give them the truth. Imagine them have a woman that's on the radio, preaching and telling people how to run life and how life supposed to be and who wrong from who right. And that the same lady walking in a married woman place. And cussing she and put you out your own place. When the man that the man face in the car for balling like you see your wife. And all the NDP them like that. All the NDP like that. Just now, as you said, they go say they believe airport. Because we got to bring a design and everything. NDP is a total disaster that's ready to happen. It happened in certain ways because people them that believe in them going on in them in a disaster already because the thing that they never have in the Labour Party days, truck, cars, light, house, scholarship, big work, they have that now. And they can't live happy with it because the NDP keep on throwing stones standing the right because they can't be satisfied. You want to work by hospital say that what? He money he working for, salary he working for. He can't say by me. NDP days, starvation salary was working for. So they totally ignore everything that good, everything that passed for us, even for them. Because if it wasn't for this government, a lot of them would have still living in boathouse, in boathouse and all kind of thing. Because no work was available for them, no program and not like that. More than them for just studying to buy land all in China and all kind of thing and do all kind of thing. And the NDP with the blindness, the blind supporters, they're supporting them still. And still taking the garbage to have them living in poverty. No education in a big way, not like that. With a mama guy, with the mama guy, and tell themselves that they're living happy. Eh? So NDP is a really total disgrace to citizens. And the lie, not only just Bambla, I'm telling lies in Parliament. Like first time, they always lie and they want to look good with the lies. They want people to suck into the lies. And so they go put them in office to destroy children too. But God stronger than man. Let me just say hello to my partner Gumbil in America. And Jeff, my partner Jeff. All them man who contribute to the airport and all kind of thing when NDP want to see the bill. And all the rest of people, man. But I had to go also other run. Okay.
Nice. Thank you very much, buddy. Take it easy. You know, somebody say, Marshall, you said that the NDP will claim the AI, but I'm saying that they are so desperate for the Northern North seat that they will tell the people of North Windward that the bridge was there. I listen, I'm telling you, thank you very much.
I believe
I
that.
see people thinking along my line. They will, I believe at some point the NDP will come up and say that they started the idea behind the idea of the bridge, and they already had money for it, and the European met money to build the bridge.
Yep.
I believe so. I honestly believe so. I honestly believe so. Could you imagine that? These guys want to rewrite history. These guys want to varnish the nonsense. Eh? Anthony Fitzbramble come in and like you saw people. And let me take a call, please, babe. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Fian.
Morning, John.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Mr. Fian, our Lord, God heard our Lord. Mr. Fian, let me say some intention. The intention. Both of you supporting the Lion Party, the NDP. I will tell people now. And I'll repeat it again this morning. The intention is to say you can't be honest in opposition. If it's by chance that the people put you there, it's the same level I tell in government. Beware of the NDP. Bring sanction, beware of them. I want to repeat again. Bring sanction, the NDP do not have anything but to offer bring sanction in 2025. I want you to bring sanction. Bring sanction. John Miguel is talking to you all. Even though John Miguel has a disability is not inability. I may sound stupid to you all. I may sound foolish to you all. But the NDP do not have no good thing for intention after the next election intending to underground. So I am calling upon you all. You know who carry the fear. And if it's the next election called today, and you go there, you put the NDP into office. Dr. Gunter cannot help you now. None the party, none of the government and the party right now could help you now. Not that God could help you. Because it's choices that we make. The choices that the intention make. That is what they're going to hamper you tomorrow. The European government is not a perfect government. They are not a perfect government. The European government is not a perfect government. But it is the best government intended to underground it right now. Let me see to intention. All the things that Dr. Gunter is doing for intention, you better watch it now. Because if you only made that mistake and put the NDC into office, Cropper was more of a point.
All right, John.
And that time, you push your hand on your head and your balls, you will ball for another. So the intention, you see the NDC back, you know them outside, inside. You wait till night talk sample for the quarter. Don't you come to me there and wait 10 nights to talk sample for the quarter. It's too late.
All right, buddy. All right.
Let me say one more time. Ben Kenton do not make that mistake.
All right. And I'm
Do you
sure.
hear them clean off?
I'm
The
sure.
NDC they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, they're gonna do the terror. Them can't do nothing for Ben Kenton.
All right, brother John. Thank you
Because
so
they
much.
don't
Eh?
have no plan.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have nothing to offer.
All right,
offer Ben Kenton.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
And when them they saying that them is the one who make thing with Taiwan. That's totally lie.
All right. All right.
It's a lie
All right.
from the pit of hell.
Okay, John. Thank you so much. We're trying to squeeze in a few more calls because, we're coming to the end and we have about 10 minutes left. We're trying to squeeze in a few more calls. All right. So we appreciate your contribution this morning. And like always, you speak to Vincentians with such passion. And I know they're hearing you. All right, buddy. Have a call? Another call? All right. Yes, call. Morning. Good
Yeah,
morning.
it's just Caddy. It's just Caddy.
Good morning, good morning.
Listen, Ian. Caddy. Listen, you guys hear it here first. If you notice, right, Bramble has leapfrogged over Cummins and Leacock right now. And you will hear the next thing. He's going to run for the leadership of the NDP. You can notice that you're playing some safety and not even no one on the other side, even the leader, is contradicting or even get coming into to thing. Everybody just quiet when this man talks. I noticed this. This man, he will know that Friday is not no leader. I see Friday is being interviewed by Adriana King. And the man, like a little boy, she is telling him what to say. You understand? So when I say I don't really like to call him and talk because I get angry with these people. They don't have no plan. They don't have the brief sketch. I said brief sketching. The same like your friend Kingsley different Kingsley, what his name is. They all brief sketching it. They're picking up little things to say they can talk about. And they have no clue. The NDP is no party. They don't have no followers. They don't have no really legitimate followers in their party. So I'm not worried. But you hear it here first. You hear it here first from Caddy. Bramble is going to run for the leadership of this party because he doesn't leave from over Cummins and Leacock. Leacock, them here not even they don't have no juice anymore. All right, I know you're coming up to you at the end of your thing, so
That's
I didn't
all right,
want to call you, but I just saw that call and
Thank you very
and
much,
send it to
Caddy.
you.
I appreciate that.
All right, thanks for listening to me, man.
Have a good one. The thing about it is this, and I'm talking my own perspective and understanding of what is going on. And the NDP's internal thing is a matter for them. When they're ready to deal with that, they could deal with that. And if they want to make Fitzbramble leader of the party and aspirants like Leacock and so forth, never seen leadership, voting, you could cry. It's all right. It's one thing when you have all these aspirations and ambitions and nobody taking you on. But as I say, that is their personal thing. When my party ready to deal with leadership, I could be right up front to support the candidate for leadership of my choice, whenever that comes. But the reality is, listeners, that two things are at play here. working well with each other. And I think that is the takeaway I want you all to have this morning. The first thing that they did was that they prepared the soil. They prepared the ground. They prepared the situation by attacking, by waging war on Dr. Gonzalez and the ULP, painting them in a particular light. You try to discredit them. They lie. Portuguese, you know how to think for black people, and this and that and so on. He lie. Truth be told, Dr. Gonzalez more honest than all them, because at least he comes to the public and admits his faults and his imperfections. Because they don't tell lie now. They don't tell lie at all. The only person who still lie in this country is Dr. Gonzalez, if you follow the NDP. But Dr. Gonzalez has said, they often refer to something, or he say he would lie. All of us tell lies. All of we tell lies. So me admitting that sometimes I may lie, but Dr. Gonzalez was clear, and he said when it comes to policy, I ain't lying to the people as investment when it comes to policy. And that is the important thing. That is the important thing. He has given us that commitment that when it comes to the policies of his government regarding this country, he will never lie to us. So he ain't gonna tell you. He ain't gonna tell you that there was corruption involved or alleged corruption with Attlee Hall when there was none. If he tell you that situation smacks of corruption, believe him. He wouldn't tell you that his government, the ULP, constructed the Wynwood Highway if that was not the case. He wouldn't tell you that he would build an international airport if he had no plans to. He wouldn't tell you he had the money in his back pocket if he didn't. As a matter of fact, at every turn, he would tell you, I don't have the money, but I'm going to look for it, and this is our plan. I plan to get it. Spot the difference? Spot the difference? But they have so mischaracterized Dr. Gonzalez for their base, for their people, in preparation of phase 2, which is start a lie. And when you start a lie, you have so discredited your attempts at discrediting Dr. Gonzalez for your base that no amount of facts and correction by Dr. Gonzalez go and see through because they ain't going to listen to him. And so you could come to Parliament and claim to have been the government to conceive, design, and implement the Wynwood Highway project. And even when Dr. Gonzalez gets up, using the documents of your government to show that nowhere in your document did you design or construct the Wynwood Highway, and produce the documents and the loan agreements and so on from CDB and so forth to show, and from Taiwan to show, is my government do it, look the documents in black and white. They would still believe the lies, the beating of the table. Could you imagine Bramble saying, just in case you forget, let me remind you that it was the NDP government that established relations with Taiwan and the day over there. Asgard? So you mean to tell me that it is so bad that they are believing their own lies? That is some serious delusion, boy. That is some serious delusion. when you tell so much lie that you turn back and believe in your own lie, so that you applaud yourself for establishing diplomatic relations with Taiwan, even though you were nowhere near government at that point. Nowhere near government at that point. As a matter of fact, the only body alive today who contested the elections after independence, 1979, so could tell you about the establishing of diplomatic relations is Ralph Gonsalves. Cummins didn't contest the 1979 elections. Leacock didn't. Bramble didn't. Friday didn't. So what you know about the politics and foreign policy of 1980-81? What you know? But you come in confidently as RJ Century. I know RJ Century say, you talk so confidently. I mean, give credit to Bramble. Give credit to Bramble. He sees weakness. He sees weakness. He sees a vacuum. And he figure he could exploit that. So he jump in the NDP. He sees the weakness of Godwin Friday. Complete and utter weak. This guy's been led by crazies. He's like the shaft which the wind drive it away. He don't know where he's standing. Just like how somebody gave the former leader a paper for read and talk about the province and writes a bloody paper for read. So Bramble sees weakness. He sees the vacuum. Because he sees that Friday is completely weak, out of his depth. And Cummins and Leacock have no real prospects. They're on the way out. So think about it. Look around. Friday incompetent. Leacock and Cummins on the way out. They also are incompetent, mind you. So when people looking around for a leader, who do we pick? Nature? I mean, mind you, in seniority, he's a vice president, so he's senior Bramble. But you think they're going to watch around and say, let me put Nature as leader over Bramble? Or Terence Oliver? So forget Friday. They've shown time and again that they don't Leacock. Forget Cummins. So that's three down. We're 6 of them, eh? And I don't know anybody in their right mind will elect either Nature or Terence Oliver. So Bramble hedgy bet, I give him credit. The guy is calculating. The guy is strategic. And he's aligned himself to an organization that is so devoid of any real leaders. And he's now showing up everybody. You are telling me, I as leader going to sit down in parliament and listen to a man expound policy of an organization that I lead, that I just said the other day is the policy. The man take delegation and go China and sit down and eat nice food. And they put on skirt and wrap around and thing like ninja, I don't know. And he said what the policy of his party is. And he's going to sit down there sheepishly and watch Bramble expound new policy on the cuff right there in parliament and nothing. But Bramble knows he could do it and get away with it. Very strategic. So you got to give him credit. The nipple thing and all them thing there, those are just distractions. Don't worry about the nipple thing and so on. The real thing, you're watching the seat. You're watching leadership. Watching leadership. But I would, I, in all of this, I want to say to our comrades, and I don't understand what is so difficult. But let me say to our comrades, this is how I see it. You see the same vehemence with which they hate Dr. Gonzalez for nothing. Let me love him. Let me love him. You see the same energy they bring towards pulling down our government. Let us bring the same energy to build up and hold up our government. Our party is the natural choice of governance in this country. And we can't allow individuals who put their own interests and their party's interest above that of country to be allowed to govern. We have one final call coming. Bling. If it's showing up, let me just take the one final call. We'll make it short, guys. After 9 already. But I'll give you a few minutes because I started late. Caller, good morning.
It's just me fast.
We think it's your go.
Why not use the word? The same way they hate Dr. Gonzalez. It's the same way they hate ULP supporters. So why about the party? You don't know they hate the same way too. They might have a little more hate for Gonzalez, but they hate us plenty because we will not carry out the plan to vote for the stupidness and support them. So they have it better in their mind too. But even listen to the speech and thing, at the radio station, you could see it coming from them. They don't like a bone in it. You see how we stupid backward and we supporting stupidness and we supporting Gonzalez and lies and all kind of thing like that. So when I use that word, I will tell the people that Labour supporters here in the field like that all and them who make a mistake. If they vote for them and they do get in power, they will ignore them the same way because they ignore the people too. They don't have no time of intention. So they hate us the same way. Same way they hate Gonzalez, they hate us too. And must be worse. Must be worse because we who are Gonzalez, and we the inside, we the one that they really afraid of. So they hate you real bad too. Okay, my brother.
All right, well, clearly he missed the part of the program because I'm sure I said they've gone after Dr. Gonzalez, his family, and the ULP. Suppose of the ULP, I said that. So you must have missed that part. But that's all right. That's all right. So the point I'm making is, as they seek to destroy our party, discredit our party, well, they can't destroy it, seek to discredit it, spread lies. Let us do the opposite and lift up our party, build our party, hold up our party, hold up our comrades. Because we're the natural party of governance. We are the natural party of governance. And we see what they've done. We see how they've lied. And we see how they intend to benefit from the lies. Well, you know what? If their supporters want to be in the position of Thessalonians, where they believe a lie, even in the face of truth, excuse me, that's a matter for them. But we had the truth. We had the information. That's why Star Radio is here. And there are other radio stations where you can get the fact, the news, how St. is doing, what your government is doing. But Star has to take a leading role, and we take that leading role to bring the information and distill it on for you. We have a country to build. They have a country they're tearing down. We have a country to build. They have a country they are tearing down. And we can't sit by idly and watch them tear down the country. We can't sit back idly and watch them tear down the country. We had a point, we militant boots. We had a fight to protect all the gains that we've made over the last 22 years. All of the gains we made in 22 years. You, your children, your grandchildren. And the reality is, one stroke of the pencil, well, two, one pop is an X. 2 strokes of a pencil, sorry. With 2 strokes of a pen, you can turn back St. Vincent and the Grenadines by 30 years. 2 strokes of a pen. Because those guys don't know what they're doing. And worse than that, they don't know what they intend to do. With the exception of again India just victimizing everybody with a field. Don't support them. It is Holy Thursday, as celebrated by the Christian world. Tomorrow is Good Friday. And the one thing I don't like about Easter weekend, hot cross buns. I like bread. I want a cross bun. I want bread. But no baking bread. Everybody will baking hot cross buns. Well, by Saturday, Sunday, they ain't hot no more. They just cross buns. You know? But let me wish you guys listening, viewing, and I hope you all enjoyed the multi-streaming, because we were streaming live this morning on both YouTube and on Facebook simultaneously. Listen, this gives you the opportunity to log on. If you're not on Facebook, because many individuals may not have Facebook accounts, so just go on YouTube, look for Star Morning Scoop. You go find the channel and watch the stream. Share it with your friends. Tell your friends, you know, that we're streaming live on YouTube, Star Morning Scoop. And so we were doing that this morning, and many individuals were able to log on. Some new ones. Gemma was able to cast it on your TV. And that's the beauty about the YouTube stream. You could either cast it on your TV, use your phone and cast it on TV, or you could go straight to your TV if you have a smart TV and watch YouTube on your TV. So you see me like CNN, you're watching CNN. You're watching Star FM. So for those of you who enjoyed the stream this morning, give it 2 thumbs up. Keep logging on. Let me wish you a fantastic weekend. Many individuals would go to church, whether Sabbath or Sunday, or tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sabbath, Sunday. Go to church, worship, pray, reflect on the sacrifice. Now, I ain't getting into whether the 7th of April was the day Christ was crucified. I am saying that the Christian world is choosing to reflect on and remember and commemorate the death, the crucifixion, the burial, the resurrection of Christ over this weekend. Now, you know, there are many different things. You know, the Bible does say, when you take the communion, take, eat, this is my body, drink, this is my blood. As often as you do this in remembrance. You do show my death and resurrection till I come. And no Bible, you know. And no Bible. That's why nobody can come confuse me Bible. No Bible. So when you take the communion, you do show, every time you take the communion service, you do show the death and resurrection of Christ until he comes. So you don't need necessarily Easter to do that. But I know some religions focus on Easter to do that. Reflect on the sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice paid to save lost humanity. And then ask yourself, what sacrifices have you made? Yeah? Dr. Gonzalez always says, we are all at some point traveling on that dangerous road to Jericho. One time we may be the person who fall among thieves. And we expect a good Samaritan. Levi go pass, priest go pass. But we hope and pray that a good Samaritan passes. And there are times when we are required to be that good Samaritan. Let us not be the priest. The priest who went on the pulpit and tell people vaccine is sorcery and don't take no vaccine. Let me don't be the priest there. Let me not be the Levite. Let me not be the one that says, my body, my choice. I don't care how much I can endanger the rest of society. It's my body and it's my choice. Let us be the good Samaritan who says it's my body. And yes, it's my choice, but I choose to act in concert with the rest of society to protect society. What are we willing to sacrifice? Until Tuesday morning, God's willing. Oh, yes. I got a big up. A big paper in front of me. Gene Millington, today's your birthday.
You?
You?
Yeah.
All right, Gene. If it was Barry, I'd say Blackfish. And Gail, oh, today your birthday. All right, girl, happy birthday to you. Well, Gail, I celebrate birthday on Holy Thursday. Gail, you holy? Holy. Yes. Let me wish Gail and Jean a happy birthday today. And wish you many, many more. Wish you long life, health, and strength as we, do our best on this side of eternity. Until Tuesday morning, God's willing, if I'm given the chance to be back with you, let me wish all of you a fantastic weekend. Take care.
You know it's good to have somebody to go with you. Listen, church. When I'm weak, when I'm strong, in a crowd, when I'm all alone, if Jesus goes with me, I'll go. In the sunshine, in the storm, in a crowd, when I'm all alone, if Jesus goes with me, I'll go. I want to say the same thing again. When I'm weak, when I'm strong, in a crowd,